Remember, the key to success is working hard. For our country, we must have regard. Forget all your differences, let we start to build. And onward to progress we surely will. Because now, more than ever, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say,
yes, indeed, now more than ever before, we must show discipline, tolerance, and production because we have a country to build. We have a country to transform. I want to welcome you to the hub. Again, we have a unique opportunity to dialogue, to talk, to converse, to engage using radio and social media to connect. I want us, again, to look at between 4 or 5 failed projects of the NNP because they were in power for 23 years and a half. 23 years and a half. That's a lot of years in anything, much less politics. But while they were in power, there were a number of conmen and crooks that came to Grenada, and some Grenadians too, who aligned themselves with the NNP administration and decided, well, if the white man could come and con the NNP administration, then they could con the NNP administration too. But during that time, the NNP supporters, they were never concerned about the image of Grenada. They were not concerned about the taxpayers' money because they supported the NNP. And to them, the NNP had a free ride. But here it is. Now, all of a sudden, they're concerned about the image of Grenada. All of a sudden, they become patriotic Grenadians. All of a sudden, they become lovers of this place. But here it is. The shrimp farm was a very recent one. But you have to understand what happened with the shrimp farm, you know. Because there was this big sod turning ceremony and they had all kind of events surrounding the shrimp farm in Victoria. No shrimp farm, nothing to show, not even a crayfish farm. But here it is. Passports were sold under the Citizenship by Investment Program under the NNP administration. And the people who those convestors sold the passports and citizenship to thought that they were investing in something. So they got a passport, they got their citizenship, and they thought that their money was going towards investing in something in Grenada to develop Grenada. But little do they know, the money, $52.4 million, went into the pockets of those convestors under the NNP administration. But the NNP supporters, they were not concerned about Grenada's image then. They were not concerned about taxpayers' money then. No, because they supported the NNP. You're talking about $52.4 million, not thousand, not hundreds, not thousands. Million. Do you know how many homes, how many houses that money could fix in Carriacou, in PT Martinique, in Grenada? Do you know how many community centers this money could fix, renovate, upgrade? Do you know how much money that is when it comes to the school feeding program? When it comes to the free tuition policy, the amount of young people who could get assistance with transportation costs, with just name it, $52.4 million just disappeared, just like that. No one was arrested. No one was charged. No one went to jail. Taxpayers lost $52.4 million under the NNP administration with the bogus or failed shrimp farm. You remember Al Jazeera did a documentary on that same shrimp farm? Yes, they did a documentary on it. So GBN spoke about it. They did some news on the shrimp farm.
The shrimp farming project is being developed by Grenada's Sustainable Aquaculture Development with the assistance from the Chinese government.
Volume.
The groundbreaking ceremony was attended by Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell. He highlighted the importance of the project in light of the lack of investment activities in the rural parishes.
I've always been concerned with the lack of enough investment activities in the rural part of our country, with the resulting problems, social and otherwise, created in the capital parish of St. George's. Housing problem, water problem, sewage problem, and all roads and other problems created for the country. And as she rightly said, the country as a whole is absolutely beautiful. And there's so much areas of the country that is not known and is not, in fact, appropriately utilized for the potential opportunities that exist.
Grenada's ambassador to China, Dennis Antwine, highlighted the potential benefits of the project.
This initiative can be a key.
Right. So GBN brought the launch of that project, all right? But it took Al Jazeera to come from outside of Grenada and do an investigation on the project because the project never happened. It never materialized. You remember Keith Mitchell coming and say, well, they will investigate. But when asked, tell us who investigating, who doing the investigating, up to this day, the guy cannot tell us who was doing the investigating. Nothing happened.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell said the Zero Water Exchange Sustainable Organic Shrimp Farm project in St. Mark is under investigation. He made this disclosure in response to questions asked during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
Well, we have been disappointed in this one. We are not satisfied. We have now investigating, and we are seeking support from our friends regionally, internationally.
Yeah, Lionel. Yeah, Lionel.
He made this disclosure in response to questions asked during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
Well, we have been disappointed in this one. We are not satisfied. We have now investigating.
We have now investigated. That's English too. Lionel. Right? So he said that they're investigating.
And we are seeking support from our friends regionally, internationally, to deal with the proprietors of that particular project.
Nothing happened. We lost $52.4 million. And I'm saying all of this because I want you, the adults in the room, the parents, the mothers, the fathers, the grandmothers, the grandfathers, to speak to the youth, speak to the young in your house. Speak to the young in your house so they would know the history of this dirty NNP administration. Because right now they're trying to rebrand. Right now they're trying to remake themselves. Right now they're trying to make you believe that they are some saint, that they brand new, that they were not there before. But let me tell you this, $52.4 million is a lot of money. Is a lot of money, yo. Plenty money. $52.4 million. So, no shrimp, no farm, no nothing. So, Al Jazeera came here and they did a nice story on it, right? Because again, it was involving the passport selling again.
The sign was for a project in Grenada also linked to an ambassador role.
Yep. So GSA was the project, and then Acros, they were the people who were bringing the money in.
Yeah. What would have been here and what is here now is totally different.
The site was meant to be an organic shrimp farm, a government-approved project for foreigners to invest in and gain citizenship.
They spoke about a lot of jobs, for this area. All in all, I feel like a real disaster for the country. That didn't go on.
Carl David was working for the man who initiated the project, Leo Ford.
So we would have employed 100 folks in the area that had the highest unemployment rate on the island. So there had to be something going on the island where they needed a big rah-rah for the election, because the election was coming up.
Plans for the shrimp farm were announced by Grenada's Prime Minister.
I'd like to invite to the podium the Prime Minister of Grenada, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell.
I'm so proud of what we've seen here this afternoon, and I look forward to it, to see this project take off in every sense.
The PM, as we were walking out of that, I said, I'll build it, but I'm going to need your help for the approval process. And that's when the Prime Minister said, well, the election's coming up. We take campaign contributions, talk to my ministers.
How did you interpret that comment?
That means they wanted a lot of money to make everything go ahead quickly.
Soren Daoudi, the Swedish national, was the partner who raised the project funding. Both Leo Ford and a colleague say Daoudi told them he was offered an ambassador role.
Soren was talking with his attorney, and his attorney, who's very well connected with one of the ministers, convinced him that he could become an ambassador for the UAE from Grenada.
How did he seem to feel about this?
He was like a little kid in a candy store. He went out and bought himself a pair of $800 or $900 shoes. In the ground opening, it had rained and it was muddy, and he's traipsing through in these beautiful, fancy shoes.
A year later, Keith Mitchell won his 5th term in power, but neither the ambassadorship or the shrimp farm ever materialized. Soren Daoudi denied he'd been offered
Yes. So that piece by Al Jazeera will go down in history. So no shrimp farm, no nothing there. It's just high woods, bush. But $52.4 million just disappeared like this. Nobody went to jail. Nobody arrested. No, nothing. $52.4 million. That's not just a mistake. That amount of money could fix playing fields, could fix basketball courts, could fix netball courts, could fix medical stations, could fix schools, could fix homes. That's a lot of money that just vanish like that. So when they're talking about rescue, when they're talking about they care about the image of Grenada, ask them where that $52.4 million vanished to, disappeared to, and who have it, who benefited from it. $52.4 million. But hold on. Let's go back a bit. Ekrem J. Miller, E.J. Miller, another con man who came into Grenada under the NNP administration. He was able to trick the Keith Mitchell-led administration, the NNP administration, and he got the whole of Mount Hartman, Hog Island, right? He got that. And he later approached the same NNP administration, and he came in here broke. The white guy had no money. He came in broke. He was able to trick the Keith Mitchell-led administration into signing with the bank, the fastest bank of Belgium, to sign saying, if this man doesn't pay, the government and people of Grenada will pay the money that he will take from the bank, because he promised to build a Ritz-Carlton hotel in Mount Hartman, Hog Island, Mount Hartman and Hog Island area. And the guy drew down, well, the loan, the guarantee came up to 20 million US. All the time we're saying 20 million EC. I was able to read a document, a court document today, and it said 20 million US. So that guarantee was 20 million US, 53 million EC. You hear me? When the guy got 53 million EC or 20 million US, he ran away with his children and family on yachts, went on a yacht and drink and eat and have a wonderful time with that money. And the man never constructed one pillar in Mount Hartman. Not one pillar. So the taxpayers had to pay back that $20 million in the fastest bank of Belgium. Because the guarantee says, if this man doesn't pay, the taxpayers of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique will pay. That's under the NNP administration. That's the same people today who saying they care about the image of Grenada and they care about the taxpayers of the Grenada. That's another $53 million. In fact, $53.7 million just disappeared just like that. The man just take the money and go with the children, and he had a damn good time. All the man did, he promised the NNP administration that he's going to build a Ritz-Carlton hotel, a big-time hotel on Gulf Coast. And they got fooled by that. So if you add for $52.4 million plus $53.7 million, you already over $100 million under the NNP that convestors, crooks under the NNP administration, convestors, con artists, crooks, those blue-eyed boys came in and conned the NNP administration of that money. Just think for a moment what that money could do right now for the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. That's 100 and what? 106 $106 million, you know, 106.1 million. Yeah. But we're not stopping there. Victoria and St. Mark is always the breeding ground for corruption, for wrongdoing, for them convestors and crooks to go and play games. Under that same NNP administration, they announced that they would be building a chicken farm. So recently, you heard about shrimp farm. We ain't get a crayfish, we ain't get a kakado, we ain't get a mullet. You know them mong. They love mullets. They used to come out in the Grand River and get the mullets. Right? I'm saying we did not get a crayfish from that shrimp farm or shrimp from the farm. And $52.4 million just gone, disappeared like that. Taxpayers lost that. Then the Ritz-Carlton, Mount Hartman, EJ Miller, Ekram J. Miller, another $53 million, 20 million US. That disappeared. We lost that. Right? Taxpayers lost that. Then the chicken farm, because they announced that they would be setting up a chicken farm in Victoria. We lost $18 million in that chicken farm, you know. We did not get a piece of back and neck. We did not get a wing. We did not get a thigh. We did not get nothing. A piece of breast, a piece of fall foot, nothing. We lost $18 million in the chicken farm in Victoria. Taxpayers again lost $18 million under the NNP administration. The same set who talking about image and talking about taxpayers' money. So that's not almost. That's about $125 million already we lost. Where those conmen and crooks, they were able to con the NNP administration and take that money. And they never went to jail. They were never arrested. They were never charged. Nothing like that. Nothing happened. Then you had the Lea Beach Resort under the NNP administration again, where another white boy with his family came here, promised this world-renowned golf course, water and land recreational facility, hotel up in Lea. They take all them local people land. Some of them died and did not get compensation under the NNP administration. And then the convestor at the time approached the NNP again, the NNP administration, and they got a guarantee from the NNP administration that they signed with the International Bank of Miami, saying to the International Bank of Miami, if this investor doesn't pay back the loan or the money, the taxpayers of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique will pay it back. The minute time the convestor, the crook, got the money, the guy run away with the children and the family. You know how much money the man run away with? $29 million, you know. $29 million he run away with the children and family and yachts and having a ball of a time with taxpayers' money again. So you talking about almost $160 million gone just like that. Nobody went to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged under the NNP administration. So you think I'm joking when I talk about a nasty the NNP administration, they were a nasty bunch of people. They were in government and they make you believe, you know, that they were. But look, today they're playing saint. Today they're playing an all kind of program, playing saint, because they want to fool the young people. That is why I said to you, the adults in the room, educate the young. Let them know the amount of millions of dollars that we, the taxpayers, lost due to those con men and crooks and convestors coming to Grenada under the NNP administration and tricking them and conning them. And we lost millions and millions of dollars under the NNP administration. Millions of dollars. And I am saying this because the young set of people, they don't know that. You have to let them know, you have to empower them with information, disseminate that kind of information, discuss it around the kitchen table, or as we would say, the breakfast table, the lunch table, the supper table. Discuss it and let them know. But we're not stopping there. The call center fiasco. Under the NNP administration, when those Grenadians now realize that those blue-eye white guys come in here and con the NNP administration and con the Keith Mitchell-led administration, they decided, well, boy, they could con them too. So Keith Mitchell's cousin, I understand he passed away only recently. I don't know if he buried yet. I can't say may his soul rest in peace, because taxpayers still did not receive that $22 million that he still owe taxpayers of his country. But here it is. He was involved in this call center business. A private entity. If you have a business and you go, you invest, you're doing X, you're doing Y, you reach a situation where you need some cash to keep your business going, you go to the damn bank. That's where you have to go. You go to the bank. But no, his cousin, Keith Mitchell, was prime minister at the time. NNP was in power at the time. So he approached the Keith Mitchell-led administration, the NNP administration, and they gave him $9 million as a loan. They say they're going to get returns on it. Get what returns? We ain't get one damn cent back. $9 million. And another $9 million as a guarantee with a bank in Trinidad. Right? One of those commercial banks. But hear this. Tutus, the call center company, go bankrupt. As they get the money, they go bankrupt. They fall up shop. So we lost $18 million just so. So a call center company involving Keith Mitchell cousin approached the Keith Mitchell-led administration because they're in financial difficulties. And they got $18 million just like that. Just like that. And then when we sold the shares in Cable and Wireless, some $4.5 million supposed to go in the consolidated fund, the treasury. But because they were owing Cable and Wireless, that same call center company, that money went in paying Cable and Wireless for what they were owing them. So 22 point something million dollars. Just so gone. We lost 22 point something million dollars with the call center fiasco involving Keith Mitchell cousin. So when they come and they play nice and playing saint, they're no good. The NNP administration was one nasty administration. They had a stench. They were politically stink. But look at the amount of million of dollars. If you add what I told you, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fiascos, 5 scandal. It's almost $180 something million just like that we lost. Taxpayers lost that money, you know. Yeah, just like, and nobody was held account, nobody went to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged, and it just, yeah. That's the kind of money. You just think about it. What $180 million could do for Grenada, Carrick, and Petit Martinique. When those political Draculas come in and talk about they want to rescue Grenada, when those political swines come in and tell you they want to rescue Grenada, and that they care about the image of Grenada and they care about the taxpayers' money at Grenada, you have to remind them about those things. Remind them about those things. They're among the millions of dollars taxpayers lost because those convestors and crooks came into this country because they were, watch me, the NNP administration was, in other words, they're going with any man, politically, any man. They were taking any man during that time. They were not concerned about disease. They were not concerned about the background of any of those individuals. Once they're white, the NNP administration was opening their legs and taking them. But they're taking them and pay them. That is what was going on under the NNP administration. So instead of the men, those white men giving them the money, they were paying the white men to take them. And as a result, taxpayers' money they were using, the NNP administration, to give those white men and them. And mind you, I'm not a racist, you know. I love white people, I love black, all race. But I'm saying to you, the men who came here and conned the NNP administration, that the NNP administration opened up the leg for, right? Politically, they were white guys who came here, and then eventually those black guys get smart and they start to con the NNP administration too. When they're tired with the white men, they decide to jump with those black men. But I'm saying to you, the NNP administration acted like some political lunatic. They were opening the legs for them white guys. They come here and they conning them, taking taxpayers' money, and that was it. Nobody go to jail, nobody nothing. Yeah, that's how they operated. And when the first white man decide, well, he was able to con them, they opened the leg wide like what? And mind you, they were not going to no hotel and take them, you know. They're taking them anywhere. They're taking them anywhere. Politically. But I'm saying this to say to you, when the first white man get them and they catch them, and next white man come and next white man, they just, under the NNP time, they just like them white man, and them white man used to come and just con them. You talking about $180 million just like that, you know. $180 million vanish, disappear. And I just started, you know. If I tell you about the garden groups of company after Hurricane Ivan, they set up that and they say, well, you know, those local, those indigenous hotels and guest houses, they have to build back and they have to bounce back. Right? Boy, they set up the thing. The NNP administration again gave a guarantee to the bank in Trinidad. I think it was the RBTT, some kind of bank. RBTT or, you know, the Trinidad Bank. Right? Republic Bank or RBTT, one of those banks. They gave a guarantee. Again, you're joking. If you go right now and look at those same guest houses and hotels, those local thing and them, some of them are in bush still, not even a galvanized change, not even a nail or screw, not even a piece of, nothing change, but almost $18 or so million gone. Gone in thin air. Gone. That's almost $200 million gone. So, you know, nobody go to jail, nobody arrested, nobody charged, no nothing. So when I talk about the NNP, goon zygotes, infertile embryos, when I talk about them as being nasty and bad-minded and wicked, you think I don't make a mistake? Because I could put the facts on the table to show you they don't care about Grenada. They don't like this place. They want power. But my thing is that you want power, but you're opening your leg politically so easy for them white man and them. Huh? And they conning the country of millions and millions of dollars. And they just running away with it. I'm telling you. And you know what's funny about the thing? When you look at some of those NNP ministers, hello, they don't pour. Some of them, they've been MP, members of parliament and so on, and ministers for 3 terms. And some of them die in poverty. So they're opening up their legs and giving away taxpayers' money, taking all them white men, them con men and crooks and convestors. But a lot of them end up poor. You remember you one up there, he was sick. And then next one in Grenville. All about all of them, they poor. But hold on. Who have millions of dollars? Who have millions of dollars? Or you stay there and play stupid? Huh? Stay there and play stupid. Who have the millions and millions of dollars? Huh? And you know, they believe that Grenadians don't understand what's going on. And then you have some of them coming now, fake lean coming now and playing as though she just come in the political thing and she's squeaky clean. Why don't move the woman? Move there. You're just the same thing. You move there. Or you cost Grenadians too much money. Millions of dollars. Millions, almost $200+ million already. And I ain't talk about the development in Lagoon Road, you know. MNIB development in Lagoon Road. Millions again lost there. Deepcon. Watch me. NNP was some dumb, backward, dotish set up politician, you know. They come in power hot and sweaty. They go after Deepcon engineering, you know. But instead of paying Deepcon what the contract and thing says, you can't just come hot and sweaty and just get rid of a company. So when they have contract signed and all kind of obligations. So they ain't pay Deepcon the money. All right? And mind you, and that was a work that Deepcon didn't do yet because it's contract you sign. So Deepcon take them to court. They pay millions of dollars to fight the case and they lost. So they had to pay Deepcon $30-something million, not for work that they do, you know. Watch me. The NNP, the NNP administration. I mean, you could bring somebody down in the bush area and you dog them and you make them get a little sense. Or you take some sweet bush and you beat sense into them. I could see that. But nothing can change those NNP lumpengs. No. I'm telling you, you know. So they fight the case and they lost $30-something million, you know, taxpayers again. Not for work that the company did, you know. Oh, Lord. Watch. And they want to rescue Grenada, you know, get a going by Miss Agnes there and take she still pay and just toss it in the face. They too nasty and wicked and bad-minded. And they come in and pleading, wrong with all you. Or they should be banned for life from the politics of this country. Banned for good. What are you talking to? Move there with that. But here it is. I ain't stopping there, you know. The stadium that you see there, well, the Chinese gave us that. All right? But before the Chinese gave us that, we had a stadium, well, you know, 2. All right? 2 stadiums. And they tell us not 1 black cent, not 1 cent will be spent. Taxpayers wouldn't spend no money. It's free. You're getting it free. But here it is. They didn't build it in good. They didn't use the proper sand. They didn't use enough steel. By the time Ivan passed, them wooden houses and them in Dabo was standing up, you know. The stadium flat down and mash up, flat, you know. And then we discovered they did not insure the stadium. Watch, the NNP is some dotish, backward, dunce, incompetent, useless piece of thing, you know. They failed to insure the thing. But here, then we discovered that they took 2 loans from the Exim Bank of Taiwan, you know. Because remember, they switched diplomatic relationship or diplomatic ties move from Taiwan to China. Okay? Then we discovered that 2 loans, almost $100 million loan, to build the thing, So he mash up and we still had to pay back that money. Remember when Taiwan said they're seizing every penny, Nawasa, airport, everywhere? You remember that? You remember that? Under the NNP administration. Watch, if I go to tell you the amount of squandermania, the amount of bubble, the amount of scandal, the amount of fiasco, the amount of nastiness that happened under the NNP administration, you're balling, Almost $400 million. Almost $400 million. Them conmen, crooks, fraudster, convestor. Watch me. When the NNP administration started open the leg for them white men to come and just take money, you know they turn on the Grenadian people? Yes. Cab Bank. You remember Cab Bank with Debug? And they open all kind of liquor bank in all liquor hole. All liquor hole in Grenada. The other bank. And you had Debug in the back and the driver with the white gloves. And Debug was a guy in town in a shoe store, Yeah. The Eastern Caribbean Central Bank tell the Keith Mitchell-led administration. And watch me, when I tell you, some of these people have PhD, but they don't as behind God back, They don't, they dotish. They're not intelligent. They ababoy. Right? The NNP are ababoy as part of the thing. So, NNP now, the NNP administration, they tell them, don't give the man no license. The man don't qualify for nothing. The man don't have no resources. The man don't give the man no license. The NNP still go and give the man a license to open bank in Grenada. Huh? NNP, they ababo, they backward, they give the man to open the bank, But here it is. You couldn't clear no check there. No check. So you have an account, you can't get no check in account, no nothing. And if you get a check and the other one change it, you have to go in some law firm. Don't play with God, Before the man dead, may his soul, well, some of them soul can never rest in peace because they die plenty years before the actual date when they die. I'm telling you, death does leave these people, death. When you see you're wicked. So a friend went and visited the man. He started to pelt mess, take it out to the pampas and pelt mess along the wall, the man to run, Don't play with wickedness, So here it is. Debug alone end up in the jail. Poor fella. So here it is. Boy, a lot of ordinary Grenadians lost their money. Cab Bank failed. He closed down. But wait. The same dirty, bad-minded, nasty NNP administration. After the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank tell them, don't give the man no license, They go ahead and they give him the license. A lot of ordinary, simple, poor people, simple people lose their money. You know what they did when the bank closed down and people lose their money? They go and take taxpayers' money. For people with $500 and under, they take me and your money, after they do the wrong. And they take me and your money, taxpayers' money, to compensate the people with $500 and under in the bank. But all those with more than that, they lost their money. They lose their money. You watch me. All you understand what's going on here? Huh? And then these old political jagabats, and them say they want to come back and rescue Grenada, and they squeaky clean, and they play nice, and they talking nice. Move there! Move there! Move! Move! Well, you can't fool me. And you can't fool people with sense. That is what I'm saying to you. The adults in the room, talk to your young ones and let them know these people history, because they come in now and play nice. They come in now and pretending that they are. What's wrong with that old thing on them? Huh? Fake lean. What's wrong with all you? Huh? All you confused or what? We here long enough. We here long enough. Look at the amount of millions of dollars now, boy. Huh? Not no easy million, a lot of $1 million. We lost under these old thing on them, and they given the impression that they're so good, they're so nice, and they go save Grenada, and they go rescue Grenada. are going down and get the stale pee by the woman down there and just toss it in all your face. What's wrong with them? They think they could fool people. But you have to educate the young. Let them know these people record. They know good and they're not new in the politics. Don't make them believe and make you believe that they're new in the politics, No. Which part? Look at who are wrong these people at them. Same old derelict. Same old thing on them. Same rejects. Same. Them what they? Nobody knew. You don't look. Watch them now. Look at them. You know, same bunch of good for nothing. But I am saying, look at the amount of money that we lost. Those convestors, they just take away money under the NNP administration. They just take away money. Nobody go in jail, Nobody arrested, though. Well, forget about debug. Debug is like a fly in the midst of all them things and them. Story debug. Forget about debug, right? But I'm talking about the convestors and crooks and so on that came here and con this country. And I could talk about First Bank too, Remember First Bank? Huh? Boy, under the NNP administration, Grenada lost over $400 million to conmen crooks and to all kind of bad management, to all kind of bubble, all kind of misappropriation, all kind of nastiness. All kind of nastiness. And those political swines, they're now saying they want to rescue. They want to come back. And they, and they're giving the young people the impression that they're so clean. What's wrong with all you? What's wrong with all you? I wish the Holy Ghost could just... I remember a story of old where this pastor doing all the nastiness. All the nastiness. But people don't know. But he thought God was not watching. All right? So one day they in the church, and all kind of things started to take him. He started to black out. He blacking out, and all kind of things. Fits started to take him. All kind of things started to take him. You think God was sleeping, He is sleeping. All you do, Grenada, too much of bad things. All you too nasty politically. All you destroy this country for all these years. All you ain't good. All you are cuss. Cuss. And we have to expose it. You have to make people know what's going down. You have to let the people know, the young people in particular. You know how much money that is? That money could fix schools, hospitals, clinics, roads, bridges, community centers, basketball courts, netball courts, playing fields. It could fix a house. You know how much people who need materials to repair their homes? It could help the WASH program to provide more modern bathroom and toilet facilities for people. It can help the JUMP program to provide internet access for people without. It can help government to give public officers more money. That's a lot of money, Some folks don't understand the amount of money you're talking about, A lot of money. Plenty money. But these people believe that we forget. So they go in on programs and bumping the labas, opening the labas, and bumping the gum, right? Giving the impression that, they're woman of the cloth. Remember I told you this morning, this kind of woman power thing you hear some of them talking about, and it's woman power. Joke they're making, Woman or women, they are very good with details, Some of these people underestimate women, Women are more detailed. They look at certain things. They know when you're fake. They know when you're fake. They know fakeling. You think they know fakeling? They know fakeling well. They know when they're fake. Women just look at details and they observe certain things and you think they're just falling for a woman because you're a woman? Huh? You fake. You fake. So you come in front of a woman, you come in front of the woman and you say, well, I'm a woman and I want you to vote for me. What's wrong with you? Grenadians have more sense than that. They're looking at competence. They're looking at intelligence. They're looking at whether you could lead from the front, whether you're capable enough to lead this nation. What's wrong with you about woman power? And every time fake clean open she mouth, woman power and woman power. You think women stupid in the country? You're joking. Women have sense and they look. Watch me. A man might just overlook things, not women. No, in fact, I have a couple of friends, and they were sharing a story. A twin, two of them, right? A twin. Not saying that it's the twin that normally hangs with Kim Jones and the other twin, right? I have a couple of them and be around me. So they were sharing a story, and they say, well, one of them had a girlfriend and no light. So the first one went in and she touch. She said, no. That is not you. You wonder, well, identical twin. Identical. See, that's not you. But very, very simple little things. Women observe it, they touch, they feel it. Women know when you're fake. Fake lane, you're fake. So to come and talk about woman power, you think women going and vote for you because you're a woman? What's wrong with you? You don't see how they're grabbing up the most honorable Deacon Mitchell. You see how they're hugging him up. Huh? They like nice man. He's a nice man. Yeah, you see how when they as they see him, they highlighting up. They like nice man. Fake lane, you fake. You fake. So don't come and talk about woman power and woman power. You ain't ready yet. You're them woman who's studying you. Look at them woman and me over wrong you. Boy, it's amazing. But we have to expose them. We have to put the facts on the table. But when we do so, we must have our young ones around to empower them with information. So these fake lean and them wouldn't be able to fool them. It's very, very important. We got to put the facts on the table. Because all young people are tech savvy, they bright, they smart, you can't fool these people. No, you can't. So you have to always do that. Put them sit down. You having breakfast, talk about these things. Let them know about the amount of millions of dollars that the NNP administration allow those convestors, those conmen and crooks to come and take from taxpayers in this country. Millions and millions of dollars. None of them went to jail. None of them arrested. None of them charged. Nothing like that. Everything just goes just like that. Psh. Millions and millions. Explain to your children. Let them know. I gave you about 6 or 7 examples. And that's just some. I could give you far more. I have a lot here, Look up, write the thing down. It'd be long from here to go off. Yeah, I could tell you, I know. Because I take time to investigate. I take time to research. I mean, I've been around a certain period, so I know certain things. But at the end of the day, we have to expose them because they come and giving you the impression now that they white like the sacrament towel, and they clean, and they're woman of the cloth and woman of the thing, and what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You think we ain't know you? You think we ain't know you? School closed and you still collecting money to sanitize hand. School closed, no children, you are no children in school, but you still collecting money to sanitize hand. You think we know you? We know you. You're fake. We know you. You're fake. School closed, no school, nowhere, but you still collecting money from taxpayers to sanitize hand. You ain't good. You ain't good. Go and wash your hand in the bushery. You ain't good. Fake. Fake Lynn. You ain't good. Think we know you. We know you. Anyways, folks, I want to say to you that this program is funded by people just like you, wherever you are. Some people don't understand. I don't do ads on this program. The program is carried on the radio, one of the most popular radio stations in Grenada, Vibes 101.3 and Vibes 106.3 FM. And it's on YouTube and Facebook. I'm here in my own studio. Just saying that this program is sponsored by people just like you. You're in the diaspora, you're here in Grenada. It is important that you give financially to keep this program going. Very important. You could sell your contribution. So you might be there and you feel the urge to give something towards the program to keep it going, to pay the bills, to meet the commitments. You can do so. All you need to do is to Zelle to, so you Zelle in. So, Zelle is easy. Zelle to good pal Glenroy Betel. All right, I'll put it on the screen in Glenroy Betel. 1-718-450-4436. All right. So you could Zelle to this number. Glenroy Betel, you just Zelle to that number. All right. So whatever contribution you want to make, to give, to keep the program going, you can do so. You Zelle to that number. All right. And you say, hey, Kemba, you can WhatsApp me too. That's my WhatsApp number at the very bottom of the screen or the program. 1-473-415-4817. That's 1-473-415-4817. All right. So that's my WhatsApp number. All right. You can WhatsApp me. You could call me there. So remember, I volunteer. I do this program, but I volunteer my time and effort to do it. I am not paid to do this program. The morning program and the nightly program. I am not paid. I am volunteering my time to do it. So the money you give is only to cover the bills, to keep things going, to keep the program on air. That's all. All right? So just saying to you, this program, no ads. I don't want to. Whoever pays the piper calls the tune. The people call the tune on this program. So you can Zelle, or you can say, hey, Kemba, I want to send something in Western Union or MoneyGram to support the program. Or if you're in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, you could call me and say, hey, Kemba, I want you to pick up a little thing, a little change here. I want to organize a little thing for the program to keep the program going. You could do that. You could call me on the same WhatsApp number or the same number, cell phone number, 1-473-415-4817. Because, it's month 10 and we have bills to pay. We have to meet commitments. There are some people who I message and they say, yes, I will give something towards the program. So I say, well, boy, you go skip me this month. I'm not able to do something this month. But, I go see what I go do. Some people say, well, I go give you a little less this time. And to keep things going, to keep the program going, it's so, so important. Very, very important to support the program financially, to keep it going, so you can remain on air. All right? So I want to wish you all the best. Have a wonderful night. I will be back with you tomorrow, God's willing, again, starting from 8 in the a.m. on the dynamic hour, and then back in the night again in the hub.